change.
One of
She
those
is the
napkins.
mother of Frank, Dennis, and Lisa. She's grandmother, Tiffany, Ricky, Mark, Frank, Andrew, who we know as Big Dog, Nicole, Matt, Allie, Gianna, Kayla, and Olivia. She moved to Grove Isle several years ago.
Ruth Heater. Thank you.
Here with family of friends.
Great timing.
And enjoyed being in our community, enjoyed things. She was a great cook, from what I understand. I had the privilege of meeting her a few times. She used to come to our church. She went for years to Central Assembly down on Route 60. She would come down the crossroads. We'd have special services with the family, and so we enjoyed meeting her and being with her then. And the life that's lived in this life, if you go to, I tell this to people all the time, if you go to any graveyard, one of the things, the general thing you'll see on every headstone is you'll see a date where you come into this world and a date that you leave. And in between, there's usually a dash. The thing is, you have no control over when you come into this world, that date. And you really don't have a whole lot of control over the day you leave. Some people know when it's getting close, some people know when it's there, but the Bible tells us that we really don't have a promise of tomorrow, any of us, no matter what age. But the important thing on that headstone is not those dates, but it's the dash in between, because that represents the life that's lived in those years. God has a plan for us to live a life of purpose. And it's an amazing thing when we look at somebody's life and what that dash represents. And Aggie had a great life, and she knew the Lord, and she lived life full of love. I heard a story one time of a guy that literally, when he was born, his mom and dad just thought that they were just kind of strange, and it was just kind of odd circumstances that they lived in. So they named their son Odd when he was born. O-D-D, Odd. And growing up, the boy hated it. He was teased mercilessly when he was in school. They always made fun of him. He'd come home crying everywhere he went. Just this name, and there goes Odd, and there goes just all these things. When he grew up, got a job, his co-workers, everywhere he went, he had a business card, he'd have to give it. He hated it because of the name Odd. Well, he died. Before he died, he had told his family, he said, listen, he said, one of the things I want you to do is this. He said, when I die, on my tombstone, he said, I want you to put the date that I was born, the date that I died, and no name. I do not want my name on that tombstone. So they did what he asked. And to this day, when people walk through that graveyard, and they look at that headstone, they say, isn't that odd? Life is meant to be led by the constructs and the instructions of what God has laid down for us. One of the things we understand as we watch this video is that these are snapshots, these pictures over here of life that's lived. But every person here who knew Agnes have snapshots here and in here. And you could share snapshots, and we could probably do that all day long. Now, I want to give just a couple of minutes, if you would like. If there's anybody here who would like, you know what? I'd like to just share a thought or a memory or something about Agnes. And, keep it short so we can have everybody do it. If there's anybody here, you just say, you know what? I've got a memory. I've got a snapshot.
When I first moved here, I moved into Grove House, and she was my neighbor. And I loved her to death.
Yeah.
And that's all I gotta say.
Bless your heart. Amen. Anybody else?
Amen.
These are great snapshots. This is what matters. This is the life in the dash. Go ahead.
Aggie was my guardian angel. Now she is an angel. And I say that because She was with me at a very, very serious time, and she recognized that I was having a stroke. And with her action and a good friend, Chris, they were able to get me to the hospital, and I'm here today because of it.
Amen. Somebody over here to raise their hand.
Aggie was very dear to me, as she was to all of you. I was reading the other day, and this came across, and the Lord said, you need to share it, so. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live on in your eyes and not your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be set free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away.
Amen. Isn't that good? That's awesome. Anybody else? We'll give everybody a chance.
I just wanna say that, I'm still like in shock. I can't believe that it happened, cause I was the last one, I think, was talked, just a few hours before all this happened on the phone. And we both said, okay, we'll call each other tomorrow, see, cause we went to New Jersey for her daughter's christening, and apparently with the weather and all that, we both got sick. So even though we slept together and we were back to back when we were coughing our heads off, but then, you know, we got the medicine and everything, and I just can't believe that this happened, but I'm happy that I got to spend the last week of her life. And she had like a reunion with all her children, and so God had his plan, I guess. So, I'm just so happy that I got to spend it with her. She was always my sister-in-law, even though they divorced many, many years ago from my brother. But with the family and all, we always stayed close, so I'm just